Good morning, Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com here with your Hurricane Pro and HD video blog for Saturday, the 12th of August, 2017. In the Atlantic Basin, Invest Area 99L finally looks like it's going to develop, and the good news is it'll stay off the east coast of the U.S., and that might mean that it could generate some surf for the surfing interests along parts of the east coast and the southeast. We'll keep an eye on that over the next few days. The satellite imagery of it this morning, the unenhanced infrared loop. This is basically like a black and white infrared loop, and so we're seeing colder cloud tops indicated by the brighter whites instead of using, other colors in the spectrum. So there's Invest Area 99L. This is sort of a trough of low pressure that's been a surface trough over the east coast here, the southeast, that's been persistent for several days, just rain after rain after rain across this region, and generally westerly flow across this area, and so that means this would turn and head on out to sea over the next several days, but maybe providing some surf conditions that are more favorable and more fun to take advantage of along portions of the southeast coast and maybe the mid-Atlantic, and we'll address that on Monday as more information about that becomes available. We'll also be watching this area of the deep tropics over the next several days. We're getting into the time of year where development can happen every week to 10 days or so, especially with the pattern being generally favorable because of the very warm water temperatures, the lack of an El Nino in the eastern tropical Pacific, all of those things favoring a very busy later part of August and September and probably October. Here is the vorticity signature with 99L showing up as more rounded in appearance as it begins to bundle that energy and develop slowly and probably become a tropical depression over the next few days. And again, here's that energy along the east coast here. I'll draw over it with blue, and that's going to steer this around. There's just not enough high pressure over the western Atlantic in the deep layers to steer this into the southeast U.S., but like I mentioned before, this still might end up providing some more favorable surf conditions. In the eastern Pacific, believe it or not, we have the leftover energy from what was once, and let's get our color bars red here, Hurricane Franklin that moved across. The low-level circulation died over Mexico, but the mid and upper-level energy made it out into the Pacific, and now we have a new tropical storm, and that is Tropical Storm Hova in the eastern Pacific, moving generally westward over time. Strong enough high pressure out there to keep it pretty much right along the 20-degree latitude line, roughly, and that'll just move on away from the Baja here and not be of any consequence to land areas. The model guidance over the next few days in the Atlantic Basin, you can see the reflectivity in the 850 millibar level, what we call the vorticity, and it's not very strong in the GFS model. That's what we're looking at here, but enough to keep an eye on as it rounds the ridge there. The GFS just not really doing a good job this year at the genesis of these systems. That being said, it does spin up another system by day 5 out here in the deep tropics. Again, there's the vorticity of 99L, not very strong, and it just goes up and around this ridge, as you can see there. And then some more energy trying to gather west of the Cape Verde Islands that eventually, by day 5, goes on to become another tropical system, as you can see here. Right there it is to just show the still image, and then stretched out whatever left over from 99L. That's just, sometimes the models you just have to scratch your head. But we'll see. At least there's no major threats to the U.S. right now. You never know as August goes on and we get into September. It could change, so we got to stay on top of it, and that's what we're doing here. All right? Have a great rest of your Saturday. I am Mark Sudduth, again, for HurricaneTrack.com, my website, and for Hurricane Pro in HD. Have a great rest of your Saturday, like I mentioned, and I'll be back with more for you tomorrow.